5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Another very warm good evening to each and everyone watching this broadcast, watching this post auction show. The auction battle where the franchisees rack up their minds and strategize and plan before the IPL, which is a couple of months away. The fervor is back with this auction as the battle was over yesterday, the IPL battle, and today we are here to review and discuss that which team made the most out of the IPL auction, because it's often considered that a team wins 30% of the IPL on the auction table, and the one who plays the auction the smartest wins the IPL. So, and it has been the story so far for the Mumbai Indians as a franchisee, to be sure. So, now for more of the review and discussion, I have our expert, Mr. Varun Kumar, former Ranji Trophy cricketer and BCCI match referee. So, welcome, VK. And yesterday it was the auction battle. So, many record-breaking purchases, franchises splurging money. Rajasthan Royals even broke all their banks, which the team which was considered a miser, but yesterday they broke all their banks. So how was the experience of the auction yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, we can say that Rajasthan Royals show all their royalness yesterday in auction by
Yeah,
breaking all the records, and the way they went for Chris Morris. I mean, it was somewhere it was we can say it was surprising, but they were well planned for this auction, and they were very well marked for Chris Morris and the other players they have bought for them for their team. And I feel, I mean, it was a very interesting auction. It's not about only the Rajasthan Royals, but overall every franchisee went really well, and a lot of you can say a lot of record breaking uh, purchase were happened yesterday. Because if we look into the previous years, we used to see only one or two players used to go for such high bids. But yes, in yesterday auction there were like a lot of players were going for high bids, and that was a little surprising, and it was the, you can say, attraction of this auction yesterday.
yeah, yeah. As you mentioned about the royalness or the royalty of Rajasthan Royals, so let's start with Rajasthan Royals first and look at how their team squad or their team list looks after the auction. So here it is. So this is Rajasthan Royals. They made 8 purchases. Chris Morris, Shivam Dubey, another whopping purchase for 4.4 crores. Liam Livingston, Kuldeep Yadav, Akash Singh, Mustafizur Rahman, Chetan Sharma, Chetan Sakaria, sorry, and KC Kariyappa. So, how do you make of this Rajasthan Royals purchase, and how do you make of the 11 of Rajasthan Royals? Are they looking settled after this auction? Because they have a young captain, new captain in the form of Sanju Samson as well.
See, first of all, I think they did a very right thing, that making a Sanju Samsung a captain, because I always believe making an Indian captain is more useful
Yeah,
than making a foreign captain, because he knows his local players. He can assess
yeah,
them. He can use them more better way as compared to any foreign captain. And about the purchase of Rajasthan Royals, they did really well. I mean, especially not only about the Chris Morris, but the other players also they got yesterday. They are very well marked players. Like if we look,
yeah,
like Livingstone is a very good batsman, and he's been playing
yeah,
all around the world in all type of T20 leagues, and he's been performing really well. And they were very much clear, Rajasthan Royals, about their foreign players also, because as Smith is released by them for this season, and last year we have seen that Butler and Archer, Ben Stokes and Smith, these four were playing regularly in playing 11. So in place of Smith,
yeah,
they are very much sure that Chris Morris will come into the side, and he can
Yeah,
fill that gap, and it will allow Ben Stokes to bat little up in the order,
yeah,
being Chris Morris getting in the middle order, and he can be useful as a bowler also. And then they have an option of, apart from these four, then they have always a backup of David Miller, if in case any
yeah,
of play, like if Butler gets injured or he's not available, then they can always bring David Miller into their side. They can bring Livingstone into their side, and being Sanju Samson is there, so they don't have any problem of wicket keeping thing also. Like Butler can keep the wickets, or sometimes Samson can keep the wickets. And if we look into this, the Indian players they have purchased yesterday, there's one guy Kuldeep Yadav. He's from Delhi, and he's a left arm medium pacer, and he's very prominent bowler, and he's a
yeah,
young guy.
yeah.
So they it shows that they are showing faith in the young talent, and they are very much
Even sorry to
yeah,
interrupt.
yeah.
Even Chetan Sakaria
Chetan
don't
Sakaria
you think
is
Chetan Sakaria is a very good purchase?
very good purchase. And there's one more guy along with Chetan Sekaria. I mean, that guy. I just
KC
want to see that.
Kariappa,
Yeah, Kariappa is there, and there's one more guy. Just
Akash Singh, lefty,
Akash Singh is there, and that
Shivam Dube.
Shivam Dube. Shivam Dube. I feel for Shivam Dube, it is much more better than getting into this franchisee, because he can be used in much more better way as compared to he was there in last year in RCB, because
Yeah,
Shivam Dube was getting in and out in RCB last year, and we know that RCB is always banking on their top four batsmen, and after that the following players will come. But in this particular team, Shivam Dube will definitely play a big role, and he will definitely going to get a good chance to explore himself and to show his talent everyone. I mean, and
so
yeah.
so now quickly coming to the 11. If we look at the 11, firstly, Josh Butler was underutilized as he was playing in the middle order and Ben Stokes was opening. So now they have the option uh, of bolstering their middle order with the Ben Stokes coming down, Josh Butler coming up. So how do you make their 11? I'm showing on the screen once again. So how do you
I
make the
mean,
11 with
definitely. I mean,
yeah,
I believe that Butler, and last season we have seen that Ben Stokes coming up, and he was doing the opening in few matches, and he made a century also. But I always love to see Ben Stokes at number
yeah,
four rather than coming at an opening slot. But yes, we
yeah,
can see Butler and Yashasvi Jaiswal should go, because he's a youngster and he should given a chance. And one down, Samson can be there. Then Butler can follow at number. But I mean, Ben Stokes can come at number four. And after that, you have Shivam Dube is there, and Rahul Tibetia at lower order. Then
yeah.
Ryan Prag is
Chris
there.
Morris,
Prag is there. So this can make them a very strong batting lineup with the experience and the youth. That combination
yeah.
will always work for them.
So, so don't you think that their four overseas options are very much settled
Yeah, very much
with
settled. Very much settled.
Steve
Their
with Steve
first
Smith's
choice,
exclusion?
what I believe, their first choice for the overseas will be definitely Ben Stokes, Butler, Archer, and Chris Morris.
Chris Morris, yeah. So
Definitely, I mean,
it's very simple that Morris will replace Steve Smith, and the rest of the 11 looks perfectly the same
perfect, same, exact. And
with
that is
Sanju
what I'm
Samson captaining
saying.
the side.
Apart from these four, whatever other overseas players they have, they are equally good, and whenever they will get a chance, they will be equally useful for the franchisee.
Yeah, and even if they get a chance to play on their home ground, that is Savai Man Singh in Jaipur, they have the option of Mustafizur Rahman, who can bowl those off cutters
But
and
yeah.
vary the pace. Don't you think?
Obviously, I mean, they will be looking forward to play. They really want actually, and they must be very eager to play at home. But that will be, I mean, it's not sure right
Yeah,
now because of the COVID situation. The venues yet to be decided. But definitely, if they get a chance to play in their home turf, then Mustafizur will be definitely going to be very big advantage for Rajasthan Royals.
yeah, yeah. Moving to the next team, the team Whistle Podu, the team of Thala, where Chinna Thala also returns this season. Suresh Raina, and his form is will be one of the deciding factors, or will decide the fate of Chennai. So looking at how the Chennai squad looks post to this auction, and they've made quite some interesting purchases. So how do you see Chennai with six purchases, and they've bagged couple of the last season they didn't have any off spinner, but this time they were going for Maxwell as well, and now but they could purchase Moin Ali and Krishnappa Gautam, so a couple of off spinners, a team full of spinners. The strength is spinners. So how do you see CSK?
Well, I believe I was watching the auction, and during that auction, Balaji mentioned that the Maxwell was the first choice, and they were looking to
Yeah,
get him, but ultimately RCB got a final call for Maxwell. But I believe that was a blessing disguise for CSK, because at that price they got two off-spinner now for them, Moin Ali and Gotham, almost of that
yeah,
amount what Maxwell have taken all alone. And somewhere I believe if Maxwell is there, you're bound to make him play every time, because he's carrying that aura, whether
yeah,
he's doing,
yeah,
whether he is able to perform or not. But we have seen in past also the franchises keep on going with the Maxwell flavor. I mean, if he's doing
yeah,
good or not, you have to make him play in 11, because you know that if he fires, then he can take over the game from opposition. But I believe that what Maxwell can deliver, even Moin Ali can deliver as well, and they get that kind of a player in half of amount. So it is a good deal for CSK, and we have seen that in the Chennai test that Moin Ali was showing some glimpse of his talent for T20
yeah,
and the way
yeah,
he was batting. And we all know about Gotham Caliber also. When he was playing for Rajasthan Royals, he did really well,
yeah,
and he was part of some great victories during a couple of seasons back. And uh, I believe, and now with Suresh Raina is there back into the side, their middle order will look more settled, and CSK looking much more settled and strong team as compared to this last IPL happened in UAE. And they look, and CSK best thing about CSK that they never keep on changing players. They can go with the same bunch of players and same. They always go with the same playing 11, unless until anyone gets injured or anyone is not performing that well. They don't look out for many changes in their playing 11 also. So with this team, we can have on screen, and with this team, I mean, they look very settled unit, and definitely with
yeah.
the presence of Dhoni and the leadership of Dhoni will always going to make a difference.
Yeah. Also, with all the practicality, and if we think in a pragmatic way, it's the last season for Dhoni, and if he gets to play in his on his home turf, that is at Chepauk, this team is a very formidable side, because not only the off spinner. If you look at what's your take on Moin Ali and K Gautam, considering them as all rounders, because Moin Ali is not a mug with the bat, even K Gautam is
Exactly.
not a mug with the bat. And you mentioned about the middle order, so I had that question because Robin Uthappa also comes in Chennai, and if he has that form, and if he's able to at least give a solid base in the middle order along with Suresh Raina, then it's a team on which you can bet in this season.
See, I mean, I believe the CSK, like definitely they will go with Duplessis and Rituraj for for the opening slot. But you
Yeah,
know there are chances, and sometimes suppose they want to make Duplessis set out, then they can always bring Uttapa at opening slot, and they can go for another foreign overseas player. I mean, like if they want to strengthen their batting or their bowling. I mean, because if they're playing Moeen Ali, then there is a possibility that Gotham might not play, but they can get in Gotham and they can make Moeen Ali sit out, and in place of Moeen Ali, they can bring Satner in or Imran Tahir in because they are like
yeah,
left arm spinner and
yeah,
leg spinner respectively. So CSK got a lot of options, and they got player to player. They are marked, and they got all players are like backup. And like if there is a one opener is there is one opener is getting injured or they want to replace, they got another opener in their bench strength, and that is the beauty of this team. I mean, and more to that, last year we've seen that their performance was not up to the mark. They were bottom of the table, but still, at the later stage of the tournament, we seen that Ritu Raj performed so well, and that absence of Watson will definitely going to be filled by Rituraj Gaikwad, and with the inclusion of Suresh Raina now, they will be looking more formidable in middle order with Suresh Raina, Raidu, and
yeah,
they can always play Robin Uthappa in middle order also, because in the
yeah,
early stages of IPL, Robin used to bat at middle order. It was KKR only who introduced him as a opener. Otherwise,
yeah,
he used to bat at middle order. So they got a lot of options, and definitely Jadeja, Bravo, and Dhoni at lower middle order makes them very, very, very solid batting lineup, and team with full of experience, full of all rounders, and of course that as I always say, the presence of Dhoni will definitely going to make lot of matters to them, and a lot of challenging things for
yeah.
oppositions.
Yeah, definitely. A captain like Dhoni always wants 5 to 6, or rather 6 to 7 options available at hand, to which he can give the ball to, and they can chuck the ball. So also, they have a good batting lineup, and they have plethora of spinners, as you mentioned, to choose from. So now, if you look at the overseas count, that is 4 overseas players are allowed. So Moeen Ali, if they're playing on their home turf, then Moeen Ali, will they start with Moeen Ali, Josh Hazelwood, uh, Faf du Plessis, and fourth? So please tell us, they're 4 overseas players which they'll go right from the start.
See, definitely, Duplessis is there, Moeen Ali is there, and Sam Curran will definitely going to play. And if Sam Curran is
Yeah,
playing, I don't think Bravo will going to make it into 11. It's look a little difficult now. And if they have a tussle between Josh Hazelwood and that Nigdi, that fast bowler, but they got already Deepak Char and Shardul Thakur, and
yeah,
they must play because it's an Indian Premier League, and I believe they are two Indian premium bowler who are currently in Indian side, and they are playing. So
yeah,
I really don't want to see them sitting out and just watching the game outside. I really want player like of their caliber must play in the 11 and show their the talent to everyone. So they got a lot of option.
yeah,
If Deepak Char is there playing in first 11, and Shardul Thakur is there, and if we go with the all rounder in form of Bravo or this another guy, the
Sam
another
Curran.
Sam Curran, yeah. If Sam Curran is there, so three, and after, yeah, Sam Curran or Bravo, one of them will be definitely going to play, and then they have Moeen Ali will definitely going to play, I believe, because they can use Karan Sharma as a leg spinner, and
Yeah,
which allow them to play some other overseas player. But Mitchell Satner can be useful as a left arm spinner along with Jadeja. So they got a lot of that. Their spin attack is a main strength in bowling, and definitely if they get a chance to
yeah.
play at home, they will be very tough side to beat with this lineup.
Yeah, yeah. Even Cheteshwar Pujara was bought by them at the base price of 50 lakhs, and I vividly remember. I think it was the last year Syed Mushtaq Ali Trophy, or it was last to last year where he scored a 60 ball 100. Cheteshwar Pujara, so he can prove his worth in the shortest format of the game as well.
Definitely,
Uh,
and I think he really deserved to be here. I mean, the contribution he's doing for the team India at highest level, and he supposed to be. I mean, I think a player like him should get this much of you can say a credit to get into
Respect. Yeah,
IPL respect, and it's nothing like that because when he's playing a test match, he's playing according to that particular situation. If you giving him
yeah,
some kind of situation in a one day or T20, he can play that game because he has been playing that all type of cricket since his under 19 days. It's nothing that he's only playing days cricket. He had been playing all sort of cricket. And last year in Syed Mushtaq Ali, he hammered that century. And if he get a chance, even he can be useful if you send him at the top of the order and make him use the first six over. He can
power
always
play.
get after run. And similar situation was we have seen like when Dravid played in IPL for Rajasthan
Yeah,
Royals and for other franchisee. At first go, everyone started thinking whether he will be able to explore that well in T20 or not. But he was absolutely brilliant. He never
yeah,
go for bang bang shot, but with his technique, he was making a lot of runs. And same can goes for Pujara also. So it's a good deal and very happy for Pujara that he is here now. He's part of IPL, and it's very good move actually. And credit goes to CSK for taking him and bidding for him.
yeah. Now, actually coming to the team, we changed its name before entering this auction and heading to this 2021 season of IPL. It is Punjab Kings, captained by KL Rahul. So let's see what they've done. So Punjab Kings, if we look at Punjab Kings now, they've also purchased. Had some good purchases, Kings 11 Punjab and David Malan, Jai Richardson. They purchased Jai Richardson for a whopping 14 crores. So we'll know your views on Punjab Kings buys.
See, Punjab Kings with change of name and like change of auction, I can say they changed the mood in auction also yesterday. And that purchase of Jai Richardson, like definitely is a very good bowler, and he's been playing for Australia. But somewhere I feel, I mean that amount went a little high, and but
Yeah,
maybe there's something in their mind. They must have marked this particular bowler, and they were so much eager to get him into their side. Even they were looking uh, for some other player also before that, and they went little high, but they could not buy that particular player. But for Richardson, they went all out, and they were so much eager to get in. And now the question is whether he will able to play all the matches and how much he will going to deliver. I mean, now the pressure is on Richardson after getting
yeah,
s- getting into the side with such big amount. And definitely the pressure is on Richardson now because he need to perform and he need to lead
yeah,
from the front. But the kind of the but still I have a doubt whether he will make it into first 11 in every game. And because
yeah,
Chris Gale is there and Puran is there, both of them definitely going to make it into 11. But we have seen that Chris Gale always make a slow start, and there are chances that even Chris Gale won't able to play all 14 games, so they can rotate them. But yes, Puran will definitely going to play, and the best buy, I believe, uh, best buy of this tournament, of this auction, went to Punjab Kings. Although he's an uncapped player, but Shah Rukh Khan is there is a guy, and I believe he's the best purchase went for Punjab King because he will definitely, if he get a proper chance and if he get a proper opportunities, he will definitely going to make a big mark in this tournament because he got the capabilities of turning around
yeah.
things on his own.
Also, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, don't you think that they went for the backup of Chris Gale because Chris Gale at 40 it does not guarantee you 14 matches in a row, especially
Exactly.
in a tournament a long tournament like IPL. So David Malan comes in there as a backup, and Jai Richardson, even Riley Meredith. He
Yes,
hasn't
he's a
played
very
for
good,
Australia.
good.
He,
Yeah, he did
yeah,
very well.
he's broken all the records. He's breached the records for being the most expensive overseas uncapped player. Riley Meredith for 8 crores. Riley Meredith comes in, but also they have mix of all rounders in the form of Jalaj Saxena and Moises Henry. So your views on their purchase of all rounders, Jalaj Saxena and Moises Henry. Even Fabian Allen comes in, and Saurabh Kumar, the two left arm spinners.
See, for Jalaj, I will say he's a you can say a veteran of domestic cricket, and he's been performing
Yeah,
so regularly. And somewhere, what the credit Pujara got in form of a great performance at top level, same you can say that Jalaj is got
with
that credit
yeah.
after performing so much in domestic cricket, and he's a very useful player. We all know, and he's a very like he's always among the wickets and run in domestic cricket, and he plays throughout the year, all three formats. So he's a very experienced guy. Definitely, whenever he get chance, he'll be very useful for the franchisee. And with Morgan, Ashwin, the leg spinner, and Bishnoi is dead, so it is little tough that another spinner will get a chance in first 11.
Correct.
And but the last year we have seen the problem with the Kings, with Punjab Kings, with that lack of all rounders. And with Jalaj and Moise
Yeah,
Hendricks, it's a very you can say a positive sign for now Punjab Kings, and especially Hendricks is a very useful player, and he played a very big part for SRH when he used to play for SRH, and he did really well whenever he played for SRS. So he got a IPL experience also, and that experience will definitely come handy for Punjab Kings. So
yeah.
I believe now Punjab Kings looks much more settled as compared to previous IPL's years. They got a better unit, especially with these couple of all rounders coming, and they are always good at top of the order. Still, if
Yeah.
Gale is not there, but still they have Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul at top of the order. Mandeep Singh is there, so they have no issue with the batting lineup with the batsmen. The
Yeah,
issue was there.
but as you mentioned about the top order in the previous season, they always had the problem that most of their runs were scored by Mayank Agarwal and KL Rahul, their opening partnership, and including Chris Gale when he was included in the later half of the tournament. So now with these buys, they'll actually have a good middle order to contribute in the team's total.
Definitely. I mean, see, if suppose again this year they go like KL Rahul, Mayank Agarwal, Chris Gale at top three. So last year they were the problem they were facing, like no one as reliable batsman was there at number 5 or 6. But now they can go with Hendricks and Shah Rukh Khan in middle order. Then Mandeep Singh will be there, so they will look much more stronger in middle and lower middle order, and more reliability will be there. So definitely that makes them better, little settled, and little balanced as compared to a few like last year's IPL and earlier years. And they look much more stronger, and I have a belief that this year can be Punjab Kings year.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Now moving to KKR, the Kolkata Knight Riders. So let's first see how their team looks. So this is Kolkata Knight Riders, and if you can see that in Kolkata Knight Riders also you have some 8 purchases where Shakib Al Hasan, another all-rounder, homecoming for Shakib Al Hasan. Ben Cutting comes in, Harbhajan Singh, Karun Nair, Venkatesh Iyer, Pawan Negi, and Vaibhav Arora. So, first of all, what do you make of Shakib Al Hasan and Ben Cutting, because they were bought too late in the last round of the auction? Harbhajan Singh, with the kind of experience he brings in at the brace price, and Ben Cutting again at the brace price of 75 lakhs. So with the kind of stability he brings in the low middle order.
I believe, I mean, KKR got these two players like Harbhajan and Ben Cutting at base prices, like is they got something a big treasure, because we know that what Harbhajan Singh can do, his experience and that still that the power of his bowling is still left in his armory, and he is a very experienced bowler. He played every year whenever he played in IPL. He's been doing so well, and with Ben Cutting, I mean Ben Cutting can do what Rajasthan Royals is expecting from Chris Morris, and we have seen in past also Ben Cutting you performed really well for SRH, coming down the order and making those fast run and then bowling some useful 3 overs. And he's a very experienced player of this format. Played a lot of big bash cricket and around the world in all this T20 format. So it's a very good purchase at base price, and they played very smartly KKR in this auction. And getting back their old horse, Sakib Ul Hasan, is a big boost for them. Even Sakib Ul Hasan, as an individual, will be more happy to get back to KKR side because he feel at home over there, and the condition also makes him very suitable. The kind of a bowler he is, the kind of a aggressive
Yeah,
batsman he is. So it is a very good purchase for KKR, and
but
KKR unit looks very strong.
instead of Shakib, don't you think Pawan Negi is a good purchase? Because if you look at the overall combination, once again, I'd like to show the overall combination. Then uh, Owen Morgan, Pat Cummins, Andrew Russell, and Sunil Narayan will be a default overseas picks. So if this is your default overseas picks, then Shakib Al Hasan, uh, I'm sorry, won't make it to the 11. But don't you think that Pawan Negi, who offers not, I'm not comparing, but who offers the same disciplines as a left arm spinner, and his can use the long handle with the bat down the order. So don't you think that Pawan Negi is a Pawan Negi will help more to this, add more to this KKR side?
For sure, I mean Pawan Negi is a brilliant player. I mean he played in Asia Cup match also for India, and he's been around this format since so long, and he's a brilliant fielder also. Apart from his skills of bowling and batting, he's a brilliant fielder. And yes, I mean when these default overseas player Morgan, Russell, Sunil Narayan, and Pat Cummins, so Pawan Negi can always come in there as a left arm spinner along with Varun Chakravarti, that mystery spinner, so that he can fill that. And but there is one more fact we always aware that Andre Russell is injury prone player. There is a possibility that he won't might feature in all 14 games. So there are chances when Russell is not available or he's injured, then Sakib Al Hasan can come in, and then some other Indian player will definitely get in chance. So they got a good backup players and good bench strength. So I don't see any like problem in a KKR squad. If any player unfortunately getting injured or not available, then they are not in a worry situation. They got a very good backup players, and the overall unit of this team looks very solid, very balanced, and with the under the leadership of Morgan, definitely they look a hot contender for this title.
Another side which is which looks quite balanced, and the craze, or the you can say the IPL's romanticism or excitement increases when every team is balanced, and there is a neck to neck fight between the teams. So this is what we will see in this IPL, as we now are looking post auction. Now coming to the team which unfortunately hasn't won any title, or RCB, every year, but the commitment of their fans and the loyalty of their fans is absolutely commendable, as they gather in huge numbers to support them every year. But now this season, they've made some good purchases. So what's your take on RCB? They've also 10 purchases this year for RCB. Glenn Maxwell, the biggest of them. Then they have Sachin Baby, Rajat Patidar, Mohammad Azharuddin, another guy from the domestic cricket who hit hammered Mumbai and scored an unbeaten century. Comes from Kerala. Kyle Jamieson, another huge purchase for RCB. Dan Christian, Suyash Prabhu Desai, and KS Bharat.
Yes, they are like talk of this auction RCB because of Maxwell purchase, and I mean this Maxwell fever was going before the auction also. Everyone was very much sure that RCB was so much keen to buy him, and they at last they able to achieve it and they able to purchase their favorite player. And definitely with the inclusion of Maxwell, their middle order now looks much more solid and much more hot now, because Virat, De Villiers, Maxwell in one line. I mean, they look rock solid. And last year, as Devdutt Padikkal performed, so he's definitely going to be there at top of the order. And with the that just recently the series in Australia and Test against England, the way Washington Sundar had performed and Mohammad Shiraz had performed, so now they are different player as compared to last year IPL. Their body language will be different, their confidence will be different, so they're all together they look much more stronger now, these two players. As and They got a good settled it looks like a more settled unit now as compared to last year IPL. And yes, but still I believe RCB need to. Last year they did one mistake. I mean, that keeping problem, wicket keeper problem is there. They asked
Yeah.
De Villiers to do the keeping just to make the balance, and again it looked like that they need to ask De Villiers to wear those wicket keeping gloves to make a balance. Otherwise, if
Yeah,
they include,
but this time around, don't you think means just I'm throwing an option, floating an option that Josh Phillip can open with Devdutt Padikkal, and AB de Villiers, obviously at the age of 37, a keeper tires himself when he keeps the wickets and then again goes on to bat. So Josh Phillip will actually keep the wickets for you and will open along with Devdutt Padikkal, and less pressure on the AB and Virat as well, because they know that they have Maxwell, Dan Christian, and others to follow after them. So don't you think this can be
but
can be an option?
I feel that, I mean, this like with uh, De Villiers and Glenn Maxwell, Daniel Christian, and then Kale Jamison. I mean, for them, they spend 15 crore. They cannot make him sit out and just making a clap for the other performers. If you're making
Yeah, yeah,
Phillips
yeah,
playing, then
yeah.
you need to make him sit out, which is not. I mean, which won't be a right thing. And so I believe Phillips won't be playing every game. So whenever Phillips is not playing, definitely De Villiers will be wearing gloves. Or there is if Azharuddin is playing, because he can do that. He's a
Yeah,
wicket keeper
yeah,
also. So Azharuddin can fill that role, and that can be a good opportunity for him as an individual to
yeah.
perform
I was
him.
coming to that. If Azharuddin keeps the wicket, presume that Azharuddin keeps the wicket, or even Virat can go up the order and open the innings, which is done in the past for
Yeah, Virat
RCB.
always
So
look keen to
that,
open. Virat always look to keen to open in T20 format. And with this batting lineup now, with Maxwell is there and in middle order, so he can go and take that chance of doing opening. But
yeah,
Azharuddin won't be useful anywhere in middle order. Honestly, I'll tell you, because he will be
yeah, yeah,
more comfortable going and cashing those first 6 overs along with Padikkal. But yes, in but I believe if Azruddin is playing, definitely they should go with Azruddin and Padikkal to open the innings. Then these three experienced players should come and follow the batting order, that Virat one down, second down, at number four De Villiers, number five Maxwell. After that, they can go with Daniel Christian at
Dan
six.
Christian or yeah,
Daniel Christian at six will be that
the,
that will be best possible best
yeah.
possible batting
Even
lineup.
Vashi
And after
Sundar
that,
can
Sundar is there. So but
Sundar
still
can
they have,
follow.
but still they will follow with the long tail. like every year,
One
because
more, one more option for Kane Richardson, because if you see that maybe there can be a toss-up that in some of the games Kane Richardson can play, and in some of the games Dan Christian can play. So, don't you think there can be
but
a
if
toss-up
if
between
Kane Richardson will play, then their batting lineup will be again the same thing. I mean, after five, they will be struggling because they will be having a long tail of in form of Shiraj, Chahal, and Navdeep Saini. So they will always have that.
they can have Sachin Baby who
Sachin Baby is a,
can
yeah.
yeah, even another wicket keeping option if you
Yes,
want in
Bharat.
KS Bharat, but it will be interesting to see how much confidence Virat has in KS Bharat. So another team where you see that four overseas players are quite fixed and they need not rotate much because AB de Villiers, Virat Kohli, Devdutt Padikkal, and Maxwell, Dan Christian, and Adam Zampa is another option along with Yuzi Chahal to play with because
Zampa did really well last year. So, but again they will see what I believe Maxwell, Christian, and De Villiers will be there definitely, and there will be a tussle between Richardson, Jamieson, and Adam Zampa for that fourth
yeah,
spot. Even Daniel Sams is there, but Daniel Sams will be very lucky if he get a chance to play in first 11 in this lineup.
yeah, yeah. Even if only Virat wants a left arm variety to come in, then only
Right.
he may have his option to play in. Now coming to the third spot of SRH, who were third in the previous year's points table. Sunrisers Hyderabad, they didn't have to make a lot of buys, just three buys for Sunrisers Hyderabad. So here's a look at how SRH team list looks about, captained by David Warner, Jagdish Suchit, Kedar Jadhav, and Mujibur Rahman. So last year we saw Regiman Saha also opened, in the way he opened in those three games. He actually blasted out on the opposition bowlers along with David Warner. So now Kedar Jadhav coming in, don't you feel it's a tactical buy to bolster their middle order, which was scoring runs but a bit inexperienced in with the likes of Priyam Garg and that. Abdul Samad. So it was inexperienced, but with Kedar Jadhav coming in, don't you think that it will add on experience?
Definitely. And before Kedar Jadhav, I must mention SRH is like, I believe it's one of those team who got the best of best players, best of best unit, not only in playing
Yeah,
11, but the players are setting out, they are equally good. And you can see, I
yeah,
mean, that is the reason they didn't need to buy any big list of players. They went only with the three purchases because they were very much
yeah,
settled with their previous team and previous players. So they look much more, you can say they are like much more settled unit right now, and one of the best unit in this year IPL. And definitely with Kedar Jadhav coming in, it will going to give them a big advantage in middle order with his experience. And we know
yeah,
that Kedar is a very intelligent cricketer. He knows how to make runs, and he's a useful off spinner also. And with player like Abdul Samad you mentioned, and I believe Abdul Samad is some of very rare talent of uncapped player, and he need to groom really well. He got those capabilities of playing big shot uh, with very easy timing, and he is a player to watch if he get a proper opportunity. And
So, if you are saying that if you look at the whole squad, that means they have the luxury to open with either Johnny Bairstow or Riddhiman Saha with David Warner. So, if they want to include Kane Williamson, Johnny Bairstow can sit out as they did in the later stages of the tournament last year. So, Kane Williamson, David Warner, Riddhiman Saha, then Manish Pandey could come in, but Rashid Khan's place is fixed, and at the top, Kane Williamson or Johnny Bairstow. So two of them are fixed. So talking about other two overseas options, because they bought Mujibur Rahman as well. When they had uh, this Mohammad Nabi sitting on the bench, so they've bought Mujibur Rahman to add the variety. So other two, apart from Kane Williamson, Johnny Bairstow, and Rashid Khan, other two overseas picks for you of Sunrisers Hyderabad.
See, Warner and Rashid is there definitely, and they can depends on the situation against which opponent they are playing. There will be
Yeah,
a possibility when all three David Williamson, David Warner, Kane Williamson, and Johnny Bairstow might be playing all together along with Rashid Khan, and if anyone is sitting out from them. Uh, because of any combination or any injuries, then they have a luxury of player like Jason Holder, and he's a
yeah.
very good player, and he
He
can
did
fill that.
well. He
He
actually
did
did
very well,
very well in the last
very
season.
well last year, and he's just so useful, and he's a match winner player actually, and he can give
Yeah,
you all. He's a three-dimensional player, fantastic fielder, and he can bowl his four over of quota also. Then he's such a brilliant batsman at lower order. He can play those big shots so easily, and he can be there. And apart from that, Mitchell Marsh, if Mitchell Marsh is fit, definitely Mitchell Marsh will going to make it. Then for sure Williamson and Bairstow might be playing on a rotation policy or something like
yeah,
that. They have a good bowling lineup in form of Bhuvnesh Kumar, Nadeem, and Natarajan. And like I mentioned about Washington Sundar and Shiraj, same thing goes for Natarajan and Nadeem also. Now they are playing,
yeah,
they recently played for the country, so their body language will be different, their confidence will be different, they will be looking more strong, and they will be coming more hard on opposition. So they got a good bowling lineup. Best part about SRH is that those uncapped and Indian players they have, I guess probably the best players they have as compared to other franchisee, and that what
yeah.
makes them very
That has
strong
been their
standout
biggest
franchisee as
strength.
compared to other.
Yeah, that has been the biggest strength. And obviously, you mentioned and T. Natarajan will step on the field
It
with
is
his
it is going to be a
confidence
very headache
sky
for
high.
them to. It will be a very headache for them to play that make that 11, because if Bhuvnesh is there, definitely Bhuvnesh will play. Natarajan will definitely going to play. So Khalil will be sitting out, and Siddharth Kaul will be sitting out. Thampi will be sitting out, as they did so well in the early stages of IPL. Then Nadeem definitely going to play along with Rashid Khan and. Uh, Priyam Garg is there. Vijay Shankar is another player who's very useful in this format.
Yeah, yeah. Now coming to so another team which looks quite balanced and probably one of the most balanced teams in this IPL, according to you. Uh, Now coming to the second point, the team which made an uprise in the recent years, Delhi Capitals under the leadership stewardship of Shreyas Iyer. So looking at Delhi Capitals, who also had the 8 players added in their roster after this auction. So talk of the town was Steve Smith, Umesh Yadav, which they bought him at the base price of 1 crore, and I actually feel they are very lucky to have him just at 1 CR. Ripal Patel, Vishnu Vinod, Lukman Meriwala, M. Siddharth, Tom Curran, and Sam Billing. So, my first question to you about DC is: were they lucky to have Umesh Yadav at 1 CR? It was just that other
See,
teams
this
didn't go for him.
definitely. I mean, DC is very lucky to have him at one CR. It's like just you know I mean, but other side of the coin is it's a really bad treatment for Umesh Yadav, because he is your premium
Yeah,
bowler. He is Indian team top order bowler, and he's been like playing all format for Team India, and it was very surprising at Jamison got 15 crore rupees. No doubt
yeah,
he's a you can say a new wave in world cricket, but he just started playing at that level. He performed well, no doubt, but this is the Indian Premier League, and first priority must go to the Indian players But it was very shocking to see that no franchisee was coming and bidding for Umesh Yadav, and we know that he got the experience and he got a pace. He's consistent. He can consistently bowl at 140, 142, and in that way, I think DC is very, very, very lucky to have him, and he will be very useful because we know that Ishant is the amount of load Ishant is carrying. So there is a possibility that
Correct.
Ishant won't go and play all 14 games. So in place of Ishant, he will always be there. And along with Ishant, he can play. And this year, there is a chance that to adjust Smith within playing 11, there is chance that they might ask Rabada or that another South African fast bowler to make him, one of them might be sitting out, and that will give chance to play Umesh Yadav and Ishant Sharma all together.
On the Nokia.
Yeah, Anrik
Yeah.
Nokia.
So now my question about Umesh Yadav is that he's a proven stuff, and he was just given one CR, while unproven stuff, many unproven stuffs. For example, Riley Meredith were actually awarded with eight CRs. Um, Now coming to Steve Smith, another name where RCB went for a bid, but just after bidding once, they dropped. And DC, another time they were fortunate to have him at 2.2 CR. Now, my question is that where will Steve Smith be fit in the side? Because they already have Ajinkya Rahane, who performed well for DC last season. They have Shikhar Dhawan, so both the players of same character, and then Steve Smith coming in, a player of same character. So how will they fit in Steve Smith, considering that they only have 4 overseas spots?
Even when DC yesterday when the DC got Steve Smith, the same question came in my mind now where they will fit Smith in their playing 11, and the best place is to fit is at number three. Otherwise, there is no use of Smith because at top of the order, Shikhar will be definitely going to open the innings, and if you make
Yeah,
Rane playing, then you must go with him along with Shikhar at top of the order, and
yeah.
Smith at three, at four a year. So that makes a good top four batsman for them. After that, Rishabh will be there definitely. So and then
So,
Stonis is there.
so
We
it
have seen.
means, in a nutshell, what you are saying is Smith coming in for Shimran Hetmeyer, because Shimran Hetmeyer is
Definitely,
again.
definitely. See, definitely. Even see, Shimon Hatmeyer was not used that properly last season because he was coming at number five or six, and any pure batsman coming at number five or six, I don't think it is as useful for the team if in this format. And we
Yeah,
have seen that Hetmeyer fitness is going down. Also, he's been like looks little overweight now as compared to the early part of his career. So, and definitely when Smith is there, you cannot bring any other player. When Smith is there and Smith experience and the class of Smith will always bring a lot of positivity for the team. But Smith use will be there at top three slot. I mean, whether open or one down. Otherwise,
yeah,
it will be a
yeah,
very, very tough for even by including Smith, there will be a lot of confusion for them because we have seen that Stonis did open also. He did middle order thing also last year for DC, and with Rishabh is there, Smith is there, and there is possibility that for Prithvi Shaw, we have seen that Prithvi Shaw is also there, and he looks good in T20 format, and on Indian pitches he's always very comfortable and very aggressive to play there. So if Prithvi Shaw is playing, then I think there is a possibility that Rahane might not get a chance in playing 11. And but I love to see Rahane playing, and at in my first playing 11,
yeah.
Rahane must be there along with Shikhar
Okay,
Dhawan of the
so
order.
so you are saying that Rahane should open with Shiki, that Rahane and Shikhar Dhawan
Yeah.
along with at number three Shreyas Iyer, number four you or at number three Steve Smith, number four you will see Shreyas Iyer, or three or four they can actually these
Iyer and
numbers are
Pant.
flexible. between
Yeah.
then Iyer and Pant, and then Marcus Stoinis is coming in, Akshar Patel, Ravi Ashwin, and then the three pacers in the form of Nokia, Rabada, and Ishant Sharma. And also, they have the choice with Sam Billings and Tom Curran in their bench.
See, unfortunately, I
So
think Sam
is this your team? Is this your team? The 11 which I just
most
mentioned.
likely
Is
this is
this?
a team, but I believe, you know, sometimes things happens like because of the names. Like Steve Smith is carrying that name, like Glenn Maxwell is carrying that name. This is
That's
what
Techa, correct.
what I was telling you in earlier, that like CSK is little lucky to have Moeen Ali, not getting Maxwell, because that same work will be produced in that half of amount from Moeen Ali for CSK.
Yeah,
Same way,
yeah,
Billings, I believe Billings can be more useful than some other overseas player going to play for DC. But because of the name he's carrying, and because the name carrying by Steve Smith, definitely Steve Smith will get the first choice. But I think Billings is equally a very talented player, and he did amazingly well around the world whenever he get the opportunity to play in T20, and he's a very solid batsman. But I don't think that Sam Billings will be there at the first choice. So, but they got a good backup. If suppose Samit is not available or any injuries coming to him, so they have a Bling, they got Hetmeyer. So DC looks good unit, but DC, the top order batsman, that what at like in what batting order they goes with these top order batsmen, that really matters for them. That is the biggest question. Otherwise,
yeah,
the as a bowling unit, they look very strong. DC and CSK are the best two bowling side in this year of IPL.
yeah,
Even SRH bowling
yeah.
looks very good.
Even they have the luxury to either play Amit Mishra, Ravichandran
Even
Ashwin,
yes,
Akshar Patel. So
if
plethora of
they see
spinners
any
to
scope,
choose
they
from.
can go with the three spinner also, because Ashwin, Akshar, and now again the same story goes for Akshar also. He just recently got 5 wickets. He'll be on different confidence level.
On top of his game, correct.
Definitely, and he's always been doing well. And Akshar did well with bat also at lower middle order. He
Yeah,
can
yeah,
play those big sixes very easily, and we have seen witness last year also. He contributed really well with the bat also for DC. So
yeah.
all along, I
Especially what we see in domestic cricket means Akshar Patel is not a mug with the bat. He can use that long
exactly.
handle really well down the order. Uh, so now coming to the best team thus far in this IPL, the team which has the best scouting system, as it is referred to, and is also referred the team which wins 30% of the IPL at the auction table, the Mumbai Indians, the mighty Mumbai Indians, the team of which everyone has an eye on, the Mumbai Indian captain by Rohit Sharma. So 7 buys for them, and Nathan Coulter-Nile was a clever buy. They bought him for 5 crores, so they saved 3 crore on the deal. Adam Milner, Piyush Chawla, experience. Jimmy Neesham comes in, Yudhvir Charak, Marco Jansen, and Arjun Tendulkar. So now, first talking about the Piyush Chawla, the experience which we were mentioning about Harbhajan Singh brings in, the same will be brought in by Piyush Chawla. But yes, in the last season when they won also, only and only loophole, or not loophole, only thing in which only discipline in which Mumbai Indians were looking weak was the spin discipline, where Rahul Chahar was the top spinner. But now with Piyush Chawla's inclusion, they'll obviously he will bolster the spin attack and also bring in that experience with it. What do you think?
Definitely, and the same as you mentioned, that the same story like of Harbhajan is going to apply over here for Mumbai Indians. That inclusion of Piyush Chawla will bring a lot of experience, and he's like the veteran of this IPL tournament. He's been playing since the start of IPL. He never missed any edition, if I'm not wrong. So he got that
Yeah,
experience,
yeah,
and he's a very smart bowler, and he knows how to deal with all sort of batsmen at this level. So definitely, along with Rahul Chah, aggressive approach, this Piyush Chawla calmness will definitely going to make a great combination of spin attack for them. Then Kunal Pandya is there, so that makes a good set of spinners for them. Along with Jayant Yadav is also there. He played few games last year for
Yeah,
Mumbai Indians. So they got a good spin attack, good Indian spin attack. The best part is that all spinners are the Indian players, and it gives that strength because they know how to bowl on this home turf. So it gives a good opportunity to Mumbai Indians to go with these spinners. And about their buys, I believe they went for good overseas player, and still
yeah,
I believe they will have some making four overseas player going to be a tough call for them because
yeah. They
with the
have plenty.
they have plenty. They have plenty, and we know that Pollard will definitely going to be there, and with Quinton de Kock is there, and still they have a luxury of Ishan Kishan. What Quinton de Kock is going to deliver to them, that Ishan Kishan is always doing for them, and
Yeah,
I believe they can always have like along with the. I really love to see Chris Lynn playing for them, but last year he didn't play any
yeah.
game.
He sat out for the whole of the tournament. It means
Of the tournament
a team where Chris Lynn.
because the problem is Chrislin can be used at top of the order only, and Rohit is there, Decock is there. Then at one down, Surya Kumar Yadav is coming. So then there is no place left for Chrislin, and there is no use of him
Yeah,
playing if
and
he's not the qualified.
also, if you remember, he was almost a bunny against the spinner, Chris Lynn.
Exactly.
But if you imagine a team which has Chris Lynn, and
And
Chris Lynn
he's not.
almost sits out for whole of the tournament,
Oh,
means this kind of team, this is just a dream come true, and that is why MI is considered as the
and that is
best
the yeah,
franchise
exactly.
in the world.
And still, I believe.
Because
I
who
mean,
will imagine?
it is the
Yeah,
that is the beauty of Mumbai Indian team, and especially that their middle order of Hardik Pandya and Pollard coming together, they always change the complexion of match when these two are playing together. I mean, they can chase any sort of total when these two are
yeah.
in middle, or they can post any kind of total. They can
One
seriously
more,
change.
one more thing that MI always does something. If it has a long-term goal, it doesn't do something which is temporary. It does do permanent, and this is the reason why we always see other teams trying to have big names in their middle order in order to bolster or strengthen their middle order. But MI for past couple of years, they have Surya Kumar Yadav and Ishan Kishan in the middle order, and they are doing marvelously well for them. So they can grind players, they can groom players according to their needs, and they can absolutely take out the best from their players.
Absolutely. I mean, it is that is what the best about this franchisee, that they really back their players, especially the uncapped players, and they groom them really well. And as you mentioned, they always look for a future for a long term, and they just go with the one unit always, and we never see any big changes in their lineup. And we can see that so many players are playing to this franchise since starting. Someone like Pollard is there, Pandya is there. They're playing since whenever they started playing for Mumbai Indian. They're playing, and there is no change
Yeah,
for them. So that is
yeah,
this a plus point for them, and they play as a family. It's not as a team. They look as a family, and that is the most that brings a lot of comfortness to the youngsters when they feel themselves as a part of this team as a family. So that gives them extra confidence. And as we like, if we come to this team, the bowling unit is always very a strong point with the presence of Bumrah and Trent Bolt. They make a great
but
pair.
one point before you move to the bowling unit, I'd like to ask that yesterday, sorry, when the retentions were going on, what we saw with Mumbai Indians, they almost released all their overseas fast bowlers except for Trent Bolt. And now in the auction, we saw they saved 3 crores for by buying Nathan Coulter-Nile for 5. and for whom they were giving 8 in the past. So they saved 3 there. They bought Adam Milne, and you can see the whole buys of Mumbai Indians. Nathan Coulter-Nile, Jimmy Neesham, another experienced all-rounder, comes in, and Marco Jansen, not a very familiar name, but if Mumbai Indians has bought him, so you know that they have something in their mind, and Arjun Tendulkar. So don't you think that they had a clear-cut plan when they were releasing all their overseas fast bowlers? Everyone was saying that they've released, but that this was actually their plan. They had something in their mind.
Yeah, we've seen in past also a few franchisee do the same way. Like they feel that they by releasing them and again buying them at lower cost will give them extra cushion to buy more players by saving some money. And in this way, we have seen that Mumbai Indians did really well by releasing Cotton Isle and again purchasing him back at a lower cost, and which give them some extra cushion to buy Adam Milane. And Adam played for Mumbai Indian before also, so
Yeah,
he was part of this unit before also, and he will be very useful playing on Mumbai pitches because Mumbai pitches are hard and always there is a bounce in on Mumbai pitches, and with the pace of Adam Millen is always going to be very useful if he get a chance to play in first 11 along with Trent Bolt. And I still believe that Mumbai got a very good balanced side, like and always look very. They always look favorite for the tournament before the start of this title, and with the presence of Rohit Sharma, Pollard, and Pandya brother, they makes a strong candidate for this title. But still, I believe that for them, that player like Surya Kumar and Ishan Kishan, which never get that credit of their performance, but they are the
yeah,
player who always giving them a lot of runs in middle order, and they are very very consistent performer for Mumbai Indian. And there is we can see Anukul Roy is there, and Dhaval Kulkarni. Anukul Roy is a left arm spinner. He was a part of under 19 India, which won in Australia when
yeah,
under the leadership of Prithvi Shaw. And Dhaval Kulkarni, as we know, he's like you can see another senior pro for Mumbai Indians and Mumbai team.
yeah.
He can always
Aditya
come in.
Chade, when a wicket
Yes,
keeper,
yes,
senior wicket
yes.
keeper.
He's very, yes, wicket
So,
keeper and very.
in a nutshell, if we talk about the 4 overseas players, obviously Karen Pollard, Quinton de Kock, and Trent Bolt will make it in the first 11. So now there's a need for replacement of Lasith Malinga, who played last year. Another experienced pro, another legend in his own right for Mumbai Indians. The way he's played. So. Uh, Now, talking about the replacement of Lasith Malinga, do you see Jimmy Neesham coming in as an all-rounder, or Nathan Coulter-Nile coming in? So who do you envisage coming in, or Adam Milne?
I think there is chances of Nathan Cottonelle to make it into 11 because he's a useful lower order batsman, and because there's no Jimmy Nisham is a tough call to make it into first 11 at a first go because they already have all rounders in between in form of Pollard and Pandya brothers. So by including Jimmy Nisham, I don't
Yeah,
think he will get a chance to bat at anywhere at first seven spot. So it will be they will be looking more of a bowler than a proper all rounder. So and Nathan Cottonelle is the best choice because Cottonelle is a good depth bowler also. He bowls the good Yorkers and
yeah,
he got experience of this format too as compared. And Adam Milan is like he's a more of a bowler who generate good pace, and he will be more
yeah,
useful if he get a new ball. But with Bumrah and Trent Bolt is there, so there is a less chance that he will get a new ball unless until anyone is taking any break in between. So he will be more of a backup to those two bowlers. So at first go, it is difficult that Adam Milan make it into 11. But yes, Nathan Coulter-Nile, Pollard, Quinton de Kock, and this guy. There is one more.
yeah. Trent Bolt.
Trent Bolt, Coulter-Nile, Quinton de Kock and Pollard. Yes, four. These four will make
Okay.
it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is with this we come to an end of the show, and as we've discussed all the 8 teams, their auction buys and their playing combinations with which they will probably enter the first game of the tournament, or they'll enter the IPL a couple of months later. So thanks a lot, VK, for joining in. As I know you've, yeah, yeah, please.
One thing I have everything, apart from all these team discussion, I feel like what Pujara, really happy for Pujara, but other side is I really felt a little upsetting or little surprised that no one went for Hanuman Vihari. Because he's another player who was supposed to be there in this part of this IPL thing, but it was very unfortunate to him. And I believe and I feel that somehow, some way he get this chance to get into IPL, because he's a terrific player. And what he did, not in it's not about the Sydney Test, but in so many overseas performances, he did so well. And he's another player who's little unlucky to miss out this IPL this year. So I really feel bad for him, but it's okay. I think it's a part of cricket. And really happy for Pujara, and I wish all the players and all the franchisee that for this IPL, and definitely is going to be one of the best IPLs. And hopefully it's going to happen in India. And
Yeah.
and everything goes well. And we definitely, it's not us but everyone, millions of people really waiting to go for this event. This is one of the best event and the best thing given by the BCCI to world cricket, and we are proud of it.
Yeah, this is the festival of Indian cricket, and hopefully, with the, as Vicky mentioned, that with this successful India England series, it's going to be one of the best IPLs as all the teams look balanced. But now I'll not take much of the time, as it's VK's time to run. It's his running time. So thanks a lot, VK, for joining in. And now we'll meet during the pre-match. Show for the third test match before the day-night test at Ahmedabad. So we'll meet for the pre-match show soon. But until then, goodbye, viewers. Take very good care of yourselves, and uh, hope you enjoyed. Hope you enjoyed the auction and our show as well. So do subscribe the channel, press the bell icon button so that you are notified whenever we are live next. That's it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.